But first, something that actually vaguely resembles an introduction and a hello. Since we're now trying to better edit the VODs for YouTube, and actually, have a beginning instead of just kind of starting. So, welcome everyone to Ludo History. My name is Adam. I'm a medieval historian by training, specializing in medieval Scandinavia and the Vikings, but with also backgrounds in the broader sphere of medieval research, environmental history, and reception of the medieval past in modern media, particularly games. So, welcome. I hope you'll enjoy, and we're going to be playing some Age of Empires 4 today. So what do you say we hop into it? We've got a lot of scenarios to play, and not a whole ton of time this evening. Continue campaign.
With Kiev secure, the Mongols planned a coordinated drive deeper into Europe. They would divide the forces of Poland and Hungary by attacking both kingdoms simultaneously. At Liegnitz, the old armies of Europe would be tested against Mongol-style warfare.
Why does it say the old armies of Europe? Once again, I am confused by the choices they are making in this documentary style. That's been kind of the theme of the whole thing so far, but, right, it gives this impression that 13th century European militaries were this horrifyingly out-of-date thing, right, that they have been stagnant since the 11th century and were being shaken up by this. No? The 13th century armies of Central Europe are as modern as anywhere in Europe is. Didn't have horse archers, therefore obsolete. Interesting take, documentary. But yes, you're right, that is the feeling, right?
In the fertile grasslands of Liegnitz, the Mongols would face Europe's greatest armies, led by the forces of Poland.
Well,
an army from Bohemia was marching to assist the Polish forces gathering at Liegnitz. Together, they hoped to stop the Mongols before Western Europe succumbed to a full-scale invasion.
so as far as this goes, this
If
is
the Mongols
fine.
acted quickly, they could defeat the scattered Polish army and force the Bohemians to withdraw.
And who are you? You are Baidar. Okay. You have light-ranged cavalry. Awesome, so Shift 2, Control 2. Awesome. And these two are number
By raiding the enemy's
3.
farmland,
Yeah.
the Mongols could plunder valuable resources.
Shush.
The Mongols had adopted gunpowder technology from their Chinese subjects, and now brought with them the mighty Nest of Bees.
Yeah.
This explosive projectile weapon allowed them to target the enemy with a devastating barrage of rockets. As the farms smoldered and smoke billowed to the sky, the Mongols claimed the spoils from the wreckage.
Hooray. We get to murder things. Let's take a look at who's up here. I can see that there's definitely some stuff. That gives us a bunch of resources. Can we build things already? Yeah, we can. Let's go. We'll build a bunch of them. We'll build a bunch of them. Up. Well, this is going questionably. And this is going very dubiously. Look at all these ranged lancers. And 4 is just going to attack into here. And then Squad 1, all these lancers are just going to like maul these guys. Huzzah. Now we need to build more lancers.
The Mongols defeated the Polish detachment and continued their unrelenting drive.
Awesome. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all going to move out here. Well, these guys are going to build a bunch of lancer, or, they will build a bunch of horsemen. They're cheap. And I have no... What? Oh, I need stone to do that. Duh. That's what that is. Build a bunch of guys there. You are going to work on that. You are going to work on that. Because that's helpful. You can trade, but can't do stone because you don't... Stone literally doesn't matter, so more horsemen. We're just gonna spam horsemen because they're cheap. And then... Well. All these guys, plus you, are the new squad 2. And then... Oh, hey, right. Everyone heals when they're close to this. I forgot about that. There's another squad of folks up here, and then we'll be able to do more. Hello, G Silver. We're just spending a bit of time getting our squads built up here. And then it'll be cool. And we'll definitely be okay. Let's get some lancers. 4 of them, and then we're out of food. Huh. Well, that's not ideal. Is he considered part of it? There we go. Now all these guys, control 1. Okay. We're just gonna do a raiding party around here. Take a look at these guys. Bohemians are arriving in 17 minutes. Okay, that gives us plenty of time. That gives us plenty of time. First things first, we need to raid some more things, because remember, burning stuff to the ground gives us resources, and that makes us the good guys. Just like generally a move. Yeah, there we go. And with all these guys, you know, these are obviously dangerous, but that's fine. Control 1. Plus those. Okay. If that can give us a central core of these guys, that's awesome. Meanwhile, they're just gonna keep working on those, while I have no... I can trade wood for food. Don't need it too... I don't need wood too badly. So... The important thing is that we work on... You know, maybe we work on some of these lancers. And then a couple more horsemen, because we need them. And then well, that gives us more resources. Voila. Thus far, I will say, I'm not too bothered by how they're showing the thing, because the Battle of Liegnitz is... Right, the only complaint, I guess, on the historical portrayal so far is that I would not... They're using Poland really strongly for the 13th century, when the leader is the Duke of Silesia. Actually, should back these guys up, I should use these guys as the main squad. Because there are some people just out of sight here. Which is great, because that means we can just run the fuck away! Well, please. That should wreck these guys pretty quick. Really quick. What am I talking about? Dominated. Good, minimum injuries. And I've got tons of resources right now. Want to build a bunch of them, want to build a whole bunch of them, and then that's it. Awesome. We got more people close, so we're gonna actually immediately push up here. See how much farther we can do, because we've only got 15 minutes. But right, Battle of Liegnitz. So Duke Henry of Silesia is the leader of the forces here. So we're looking at like the southern edge of the sort of Polish sorry. Please. 4 attack move. There we go. Absolutely melt them. Hooray. Thank you. Well, absolutely wrecked these guys. Nice try, nice try. Oop. Stopped moving when I shouldn't do that. Try that again, this time with feeling. You're too slow. They're way too slow, holy shit. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, so we are now going to have all these guys who are up here push up, because we can. We've got another squad right here, which we should totally maul. Defeat the remaining units on the ridge. There's like one of them left. There we go. Okay, so what does that leave, actually? 4 can attack over here, 1 should attack move up here, 2 should just ride in. That leaves 1 squad of units in 10 minutes. So yeah, I've gotten very distracted immediately. Shocking no one. I still have like no food. Okay, that's no problem. We can burn this whole thing to the ground and then it's not a big deal. We should very rapidly burn these down. Because they also give us food. And then we can use that food to build more Mangadai. Actually, let's focus these guys not on the Mangadai, but on getting the double Lancer build. And then this one can focus on the Mangadai. There we go. And that uses basically all our resources, which is fine.
As the battle raged in the fields, the army from Bohemia was
we've got 11 minutes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The Mongols were running out of time to defeat the Polish army and neutralize the threat from Bohemia.
Okay, 1. Shift these guys. Shift these guys is the new one. Voila. 2. Shift these guys is the new 2. And then we line up these guys on the road. And then they all die. Right? Oh gosh, those were the wrong things. Like, there's only like one thing left. Yeah. They are dangerous, but we're still going to absolutely maul them. God. Just everyone die. The Lance Connects can also die. Shoot. Please shoot at the spearmen first. Give ourselves weapon triangle advantage. And then all the infantry get murdered. There we go. Polish army destroyed. Wait, that was it?
Despite being outnumbered by the European armies, the Mongols were
Parisianin, welcome.
as fire scorched the
And thank you
farmlands
for
of
your
Liegnitz.
comments last week
Europe
on
reeled
the
in horror. The
early
ingenuity
things,
of the Mongol Empire
because
had brought
sounds like there was a lot
terrifying new
they
kind
did
of
that was
destruction
both
to the
questionable
doorstep
and
of the
interesting.
West.
Let's see if I can find those. From you from last week about what kind of the things in Kiev did. Where are they? Also, that was way easier than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting that we'd actually have to, you know, fight Bohemia. But no. But no. Right. Those were some of those. When they... also, what's this? We'll read this in a moment. But right, yeah, right, they showed Moscow instead of, which is a non-state, or a non-important city. It's like barely a village at the, in the 1240s. And yet they are using basically a modern capital map in order to actually talk about medieval Europe, which was weird as heck. And then they also, right, they did the destruction of Kiev relatively well, but also still in some ways, right, the total destruction of the city is reasonably close, as are the architectural styles they're showing, but they didn't really get into any of the bigger implications of it being sort of the end of the prominence of the Kievan Rus, because in the post-Mongol period it gets replaced by the Principality of Muscovy, which we'll see in the next campaign. Hooray. But yeah, then this battle, they kind of understated it quite dramatically, I'll be honest. That kind of was just a one and done, poof, gone. In reality, the Battle of Liegnitz is an army of about 20,000 Mongols versus a combined Silesian, Kipchak, and Bohemian force of almost 30,000. So it is pretty disastrous for the European forces. We're not going to pretend otherwise for that. But it is just one part of the larger campaign that Batu Khan leads against primarily Hungary, actually. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interest in this right at this moment of pushing into the Holy Roman Empire, and Emperor Frederick II is too busy with other stuff in order to actually be helping out the King of Hungary or the Duke of Silesia, Henry the Pious. So, Henry the Pious does get killed in this battle, so rest in peace him. He didn't show up at all. But it is kind of bad news. It's actually kind of really bad news. And The European response is disorganized at best, though there are attempts to create a larger crusading movement against the Mongols. They come to nothing, though. It's in 1241, I believe, that Frederick II and the Pope, in a rare moment of agreeing with each other, call a crusade against the Mongols, and, like, no one shows up. But by the 1270s, they're actually trying to form alliances and send missionaries into Mongol territory to unite against the perceived threat of the Turkic Mongol or Turkic Muslim powers that are still around, that even after the Mongol expansion. So yeah. G Silver, while I agree with you that medieval chronicles have and certainly the Mongol chronicles have a very bad habit of overstating their numbers. It's actually, most of the histories I looked up are still saying it's like 20,000 to 30,000, which is the large, I think is at the high end of what's possible, but is apparently not outside the realm of possibility. So, yeah, hard to say. I don't know. I don't really care for numbers debates in medieval military history. I tend to assume they're on the smaller side, that we're... If they say, generically big number, 20,000, that we're looking at closer to half that. 30,000 Silesian Kipchak, Bohemian, some Holy Roman Empire, I guess. That's part of... Bohemia is part of that. But still, the European forces are like 30,000-ish, kind of, maybe. It could be as low as like 10,000 versus 12,000, I would say, is kind of the lower end of the estimates. But either way, these are pretty big armies. It's not like this is just a total and immediate wipe like this game seems to show it. But so be it, because we're moving on to the Battle of Mohi, which is the somewhat bigger deal. But first, warriors on campaign. The arrival of the Mongols in Europe was a calamity for which the West was grossly unprepared. In the years since Genghis Khan's reign, the Mongol army had perfected his strategies and invaded with unstoppable ferocity. Campaigns were planned years in advance. In this case, probably decades. There's things as early as like 1225 that suggest that an invasion that the Mongols were looking at expanding into what is now Eastern and East Central Europe. So, this is correct. Years and years in advance. Scouts would survey the terrain, burning farmland as they went. The cleared land would create a highway of pasture for the forthcoming army and their animals. Using a decimal system of organization, the Mongol army could be tens of thousands strong and still communicate effectively, move swiftly, and feed every one of its warriors for years at a time. Through discipline, patience, and endurance, the Mongol army remained ready for action and poised for conquest. Also, by being constantly at war, right? Right, it helps. They're always ready for conquest because they don't stop being at war from like the 1220s until the 1270s. So, you know, that's neat. We also have a lovely little video about music. I'm here for it. Nice hat.
Nomads followed their flocks and herds. A Mongol family might move up to 30 times a year to
Those
seek
of you who
fresh
know
grazing.
more about
Nomadic people civilization is different from the settled civilization. It is based on open field, movement, and horseback riding lifestyle.
those of you who know more about Mongol settlement patterns may need to help out here.
Of this kind of way of life.
Let's
A
see how this
central
one
theme in
is
Mongolian
doing.
music is the horse.
All Mongol life
But
was lived
I noticed
on
they are
horses.
leaning very hard
That's
in
part
this
of
little
the
document
Mongol
into the
identity, is the music of the horse.
nomadic nature of the Mongol lifestyle and not the far more sedentary
Most iconic Mongolian
lifestyles that did
instrument
exist.
was the Morin call.
Moronghor in a Mongolian language. It's mean horse head fiddle.
The strings came from a horse's tail. 120 hairs for the top, female string, and 150 for the bottom, male string. Everything to do with the Morincourt related to horses. And it could even imitate their sounds.
I like the instrument.
A distinctive aspect of Mongolian music is throat singing.
Throat singing is an ancient way of singing that imitates the echo from the nature.
Throat singing is the sound of the steppe, the wind, the earth, the animals. Music was also used to tell stories. In this
As it
praise
is
song,
everywhere.
2 horses run away from Genghis Khan for a life in the wild. But they miss his kindness, and so they return. The prospect of being immortalized in a praise song was a powerful motivation for warriors on the battlefield.
Okay. So, my sense is very limited. I am very keenly aware of the limits of my own knowledge, and Mongolian pre-modern instrumental traditions are certainly not in my expertise. But the idea of a culture having an oral tradition based around songs is truly non-surprising, and it is nice to see it highlighted in this way, at least through one snippet of one perspective. So yeah. Exactly. There's the other half of it, though, Prisian. The style is almost obligatory in documentaries or pseudo-documentaries about Siberia or Mongolia that we are going to talk about spirits, we're going to talk about shamans, and we're going to talk about throat singing. What a shock.
While the Mongols in the north destroyed the Polish army,
Now,
Batu
how about-
Khan and General Subutai rampaged through the south into the heart of Hungary. Tricked into an intense pursuit, the Hungarian king chased down these foreign invaders, all the way to the plains of Mohi.
Yep. So far as this goes, this is right. We'll see how the battle actually portrays it, because the quick rundown of the battle is that the battle takes place on 2 banks of the river that runs through the plains. And so, originally, it takes the Mongols actually quite a few tries, most of a day, in order to actually get across the river, because the Hungarian defense is really, really, really good. But the moment you get across, it turns into a trounce, and King Bela IV of Hungary has to somehow escape the battlefield and escapes into Transylvania, which he does, shockingly, right? The most dramatic account of the battle claims that he was completely surrounded, and somehow the royal retinue actually breaks the Mongol entrapment, and they manage to successfully flee. And then they track him down later. He takes refuge on an island, and they give up and leave. So this battle is not immediately as much of a trounce as this this one sentence blurb might suggest, but we'll see.
Batu Khan led his warriors across the plains, luring the Hungarian king to a battle site far from the safety of his city.
Are they going to contextualize the
As
battle at all,
Hungarians
or is it
broke
just
away
gonna...
to regroup across the Sayo River, the Mongols prepared to strike.
Are we going to mention it at all? Okay, are these my guys? No, they're. I just have these guys.
General
Okay.
Subutai would soon arrive to join
No,
Batu, having escorted the Mongol camp to the battle site. While the Khan waited for his general, the Mongol vanguard would probe across the bridge to the north.
So, one thing that been a source of quite a bit of debate among historians is why exactly this is a thing, or they attack Hungary, right? The invasion is... Oh, hello. Would you look at that?
Across the bridge, the Mongol soldiers found themselves heavily outnumbered and beat a hasty retreat away from the ambush.
Would you look at that? They're actually doing the thing. They're doing the thing. This is reasonable. Hello. Turns out, bad news. Sir. I got bad news. Great. They overextended. I got good news. Sir, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
This was not the first time Batu had been outnumbered. Drawing on past victories, he began to stage a coordinated attack.
Okay. We got a bunch of civilians there. Awesome.
Arriving at the battle site, General Subutai quickly assessed the situation.
I'll just set this up over here. We're just gonna set these all up immediately, because I don't think they do any good. There's our curl tie. We can actually set that up way up here. And then a stable. Being... I don't have any stone sites, do I? I've got one right here. Fab. One ovu later. Isn't this where I put the gear? Why did I put the gear there? Pack up. You're gonna drop yourself right in here. That should do better. Okay. Horseman, 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 horseman. Mangadai, 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 mangadai. We've got a plan. The plan is everyone back up, and then we'll try this again in a bit. You're just a town center. We can get more villagers, though. Oh no, go work on that. Ooh, I don't have anyone working on gold, do I? Crap. Go do that. Oh, and this is Subutai. Okay, awesome. We also have a barracks, which is great. We can build a handful of these guys and a whole bunch of these guys, and then we are out, straight up out of food. That's interesting. Can we build a stable? Pasture. Do you do anything? Pastures produce sheep faster. Alright. That's fine. That's not necessarily a big deal. The important thing is just that we are going to be gathering resources fast. Also, build a market. We're just gonna build up. We're gonna build up as quick as we can. Ooh, Grand Chicken Lord from Wikipedia says that soldiers prefer to ride lactating mares because they could use them as milk animals. In times of desperation, they also slit a minor vein in their horse's neck and drain some blood into a cup. Their source is a dead link, which is links to our hardcore history. So I don't know enough to say if that's actually possible or not. My sense is probably not totally wrong, but at the same time, definitely not totally right either. Got one of those working on those. Actually, let's go Siege Workshop. And how's this production going? That production is going great. This production is still going great. We've built up quite badly. Optional, build mangonels. I am working on a Siege Workshop, right? Yeah, there we go. And Badu Khan will attack in 10 minutes regardless of what we do. Fabulous. Do I have a scout? I do not have a scout right now. Let's work on that. Scout, please. Exactly. Right. The justifications that that suggests, sounds plausible. But I am not nearly familiar enough with, steppe culture. Wait, I have a scouting falcon? Excuse me? Villagers
The
cannot
Mongols
pass.
discovered a potential alternative river crossing, a broken bridge.
There's one. That was an important thing I was wondering about. And then... are you done building? No, you're still building. Great. That's no problem. Cool. Prove siege engineering. And then that. And that should use up most of my resources, which is no problem. Doing okay with how quickly we're getting food. Let's build another gur right here, though, to speed that up a bit. And then you're still building stuff. Or you're actually done building stuff, sorry. More spearmen, because spearmen are the backbone of any good army. And then I guess after that we'll work on an archery range. Archery range next to the oval. And then you are going to help murder sheep. Mangonels? Mangonels. Awesome. There's one mangonel. And then we are close on the other thing. We've got a market, so let's sell some of that wood. I don't necessarily need 2 mangonels. You gonna ride up this way, see what the other option is. Off we go. Exactly. Chicken Lord and Parisian and you two are both
The
saying
Mongols approached the Zayo River and discovered a shallow
very
crossing.
good options here, or for alternative explanations. Oh, nice. Whole ass area. Could rally an army over there, could rally an army over there, could rally an army in both places. Let's build some of those super expensive lancers, because they are kind of important. How long have I got? 7 minutes. Okay. So, we're gonna grab the bridge route, I think. I could split the army. I could split the army in 2 spots, right? Put like all of the infantry over on one side, put all of the things over on all the horses all on the other side. That seems questionable, I'll be honest. And then the mangonels, I don't know.
While Subutai rushed to ready his army,
No!
Batu was poised to make
do
another
that.
attempt at taking the bridge.
Right. The other thing that there is that's somewhat significant there, I think, is that words. Right. It could also easily be mistaking ritualized uses or ritualized behaviors as sort of just the way things are done all the time because they're weird. But yeah, I don't know. When we finish up here, we can definitely do some research into that. Take a look at Mongol, see if there's been any significant research done into Mongol horses. There almost certainly has. I do need to spare a villager over here to go repair this. Because he's got 5 minutes left, which is not a lot of time. Also, I don't have a lot of men-at-arms here. I got a lot of... Let's build 5 more of them. That gives me a pretty hefty army. Actually, a heftier army than what the Batu has, which is helpful. Drop those off. Nay, shit. That's alright. We're gonna... Nay. Kill a sheep. Kill a sheep. Kill a sheep. Go hunting. Go hunting. And you lot are gonna go back. Yeah, so why are we not repairing the broken bridge? Cool. That should give me just enough time. If I am smart and gather everyone over here, we should be able to have a pretty ridiculous flank. We'll get organized after we've moved. Nice. That gets us all the way across here. Sweet. We have readied an army to flank the Hungarians. Potentially. I think that counts as flanking. Then we'll build a bunch of Mangadai. And then... These guys weren't part of the squad. Oops. Everyone here. Get over this way. Nice, there's literally nothing here. We'd love to see it. So, we need to grab these squads, shift these guys, control 1. They're my center line. These guys and Subadai are control 2. Do I need to rally armies in both places? I hope not. That'd be really awkward. That would be really awkward. I think I do. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna have these guys go back this way. So I'm gonna have my just a lancer, unassisted lancer charge on one side, and then everyone else on the other side. I want the mangonels in the same spot, because kind of all that's helpful. Infantry are all going to be a solid group. That is my control 3. And then the 2 mangonels are going to be group 4. That should be about as fast as I can get. There we go. Can I have anything else on my these? Melee armor. Fab. What do I need to get melee weapons up? Just stone. Truly just stone. Please build faster? Okay. So. Control 4. So we've got 3 here, who's gonna make a line. 2 here, who are gonna do their thing. And then we've got the other flank right here, who is... These guys are all group 1. Also, nice that we're not raiding these guys. So, is that it? I mean... I've rallied my armies. I've got 2 spots I have armies. Also, nice of them to, you know, not actually... I don't know. It seems awfully nice of them to not have any scouts, so our guys can just kind of sit here for 10 minutes. Just a thought. This is definitely the stronger part of the group, but hurrah.
Batu Khan saw his opportunity and pushed across the bridge to meet the Hungarians head-on.
2, 4, 1. Three is all attack move. 2. Go, go, go. 4. Attack move in here. 1. 1. 1 attack move. Please. Well, that didn't go so hot. 2 attack move in. And defensive. Defensive arrows? No? There we go. There we go. So Badu took heavy damage and we are otherwise
The
fine.
Mongols took the bridge and held the open space, forcing the Hungarians into the trees and splitting them into several groups.
Nailed it.
Now the Mongols could drive the Hungarians back to their camp. One small space with nowhere to run.
Nailed it. So this is actually done reasonably well, I'll be honest. And I got an achievement. Thank you, achievements. I don't know what you're for, I'm assuming not for anything good. Hooray. We'll smush these. Bati's gonna smush that group, though
With the
I should
Hungarians pinned down,
help.
the Mongols closed in to destroy the last of their army.
And then force the camp defenders to rout. Awesome. So this is actually, as I said, this is actually done fairly well. Now I'm gonna make this all group 5, so that way I can just go 5, and then, and 2. There are no Hungarian forces here. 5 attack move. Big attack move here. 2. Rally literally everyone. 5, how are you doing? Pretty good. Not amazingly, but good enough. I still got a big chunk of these guys. So, look at that! They've even got that circular camp of wagons that Bella likely used. But sadly, you know, King Bella IV is a complete non-entity in this game. So, we get Bati when we get Subutai, but we do not get Bella IV.
The Mongols laid waste to the Hungarian fort, sending their king and the last of his army fleeing for their lives.
As I said, they flee into Transylvania along the Croatian
Once
coast.
again,
And eventually,
Batu
it's in
Khan
modern
and General
Croatia
Subutai
that
had outwitted
they
and
actually
utterly destroyed their European enemies, striking terror
that
into
Bella
the
actually
heart of the
escapes,
West.
and then the Mongols sort of pursue him there. They say, "Hey, give him up," and they go, "No." But notably absent from this is any semblance of historical context. Right? This is a good battle. This is a well-done scenario for the moment-to-moment of the battle. But notably absent is the why did the Mongols attack? And the reason that is complicated and largely still controversial, right? No one really knows exactly why they attacked Hungary, but explanations range from they were always planning to specifically, and this is something that contemporary sources also talk about, is that they do not like the fact that after the or during the sacking of the Kievan Rus, a lot of Kuman or Kipchak people fled as refugees into Hungary, and as Hungary gets kind of wrecked, they actually flee farther down into what is sort of Bulgar territory, on Croatia, Serbia, and Bulgaria. So that happens to be the direction that the Mongols are going to turn and go, and they'll never again pose this sort of threat to the Latin Christian states. Yeah, Grand Chicken Lord, why don't we look into that here in just a moment. Anyway, Subutai is one of Genghis Khan's rather exceptional generals. And, let's actually activate the research station, namely, unhide the window. Let's take a look. Music, let's go. Alright. A history lesson to— oh gosh, what is the scope? The scope of this is quite far off. That's weird. Let's make this smaller, because I didn't realize it was so big. Don't know why it's so big. Technical difficulties on our stream? No. Who would have thought such a thing? Oh, I don't think we'll get a clear answer. I just think it'll be fun to see what options actually have. Google Scholar. Let's see. Wounds and weapon repair in conflict and culture over animal slaughter in Mongol Eurasia. Look at that, we got two options here to see what they've got. And an older one from three options. Let's see what they've actually got. See if this one actually has anything. Let's at least get a couple of pages of preview here to see if they've got anything helpful. This looks like it's all medical, so this one is not probably super helpful. This seems to be also a little bit different. And sadly, I'm not going to pay $30 for it, so we'll take a look at the oldest source. And this one is on JSTOR, helpfully. Mongolian foods and foodways of the early empire. Animal herds, okay. Most important of the herd animals was sheep. Fair. Mongols also herded horses, produced milk and kumis, as well as high caloric meat and blood. So we're looking at so we're going to jump to the back. We're going to immediately, instead of looking at all of these, we're going to look at the two notes 9 and 10 here, which say on kumis and camel kumis Turkish shubat, as those made from other milks. C looks like ethnographic study from 1959. one from 1979, both in languages I cannot read. On these, perfect. Look at that. On these and other Mongolian horse foods, see John Masson Smith Jr., Mongol Campaign Rations, Milk, Marmots, and Blood, ? In Pierre Oberling, editor, Turks, Hungarians, and Kipchaks, a Festschrift in honor of Tibor Halasi Kun, Institute of Turkish Studies, Washington, D.C., 1984. So, Turks, Hungarians, and Kipchaks, Mongol Campaign Rations, Mongol Campaign Rations, Milk, Marmots, and Blood. And of course there's not a digitized version. Of course not. Why would there be? Turks, Hungarians, Turks, Hungarians, and Kipchaks, Festschrift. Perfect. Let's see if it's open access. It's not. It's not here. There is not a single one remotely close to me. Oh, hysterical. Hey. We're going to allow the download. Even though this is potentially risky. It should be fine. It gives me the wrong article of it. Boom. It's only got one article and it's the wrong one. So, unlucky. We'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Name of Penishungs, blah 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 blah. Helpful. Okay, this is not helping. We've got a lot of... It gets cited a decent amount, it looks like. But there does not seem to be an easily digitized version of it, so short of going to the friendly Russian booksellers, I'm afraid we may actually hit a... We may have hit a dead end for this part of it. Right. You can see the names of the... You can see the name of the book, the recommendation, and I'm going to do this after the stream too, is to take a look at either your local academic library, which is the ideal option, or barring that, we take a look through the friendly Russian booksellers, see if you can find anything. My sense is that based off the fact that there's a title or a question mark in the title, there is definitely some sense that where it is definitely maybe a myth, and not at all a thing that actually happened. But academics sometimes do things weird, so I'm not going to say that as a definite option here. Still, there are a few other things I want to look at in here. We will switch back over to the game for a moment, because I want to see if they mention. But we're going to do the kind of predecessor thing for the next section. We're not actually going to get started until after an ad break. But I'm really curious if they mention the fact that in 1242, the Mongols just kind of leave. They go back to the Russian steppes and don't come back. So, I wonder if they're going to mention that at all? Mention any of the theories for that, take a stance, or if they're just going to pretend that they didn't happen and go back over to look at Mongol conquests of the Song. The southern song specifically. Let's find out.
After a stunning victory over the
Oh, cool, they do
Hungarian
mention it.
king
Let's see
at
what the
Battle
take
of
is here.
Mohi, the Mongols seemed unstoppable. But a year later, the great Khan Ogadei died. The Mongols pulled out of Europe and returned home. Over the next 20 years, 2 more great Khans ascended to the throne. Their conquests continued to expand the empire in the east. Then in 1260, the grandson of Genghis became the next great Khan.
Uh-huh.
His name was Kublai Khan.
Mm-hmm.
He would rock the foundations of one of the medieval world's most advanced civilizations, China.
Alright. Alright, alright. Yep.
This is Shangdu.
Of course they did
Remember
that.
today is Xanadu. It was once Kublai Khan's great northern capital. From here,
Shoutouts
he
to,
jealously eyed the wealth of southern China's Song dynasty.
Shoutouts to the Ming Dynasty Great
He
Wall
wanted to take
for
it
making a guest
and
appearance
become
not once
emperor
but
of
twice
all
in this
China.
campaign.
The Song dynasty had ruled over southern China for more than 300 years. And the country was prosperous and well governed. Kublai Khan knew that the key to victory was capturing a strategic city lying far to the south of Shangdu.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Changyang.
Okay, we're gonna let this finish. Then we're gonna
Shenyang
take
was the
a
gateway to the
very
south.
short ad break. And then we're gonna
At
dig
the heart
into
of the Song
why did the
dynasty's
Mongols
power.
leave Europe?
Controlling the Han River, a critical access route to cities further along the Yangtze. Capturing Shenyang was Kublai Khan's only hope of becoming emperor of all China. The Mongol horde had to take the city at all costs.
Shoutouts to totally non-problematic terminology. Completely, totally non-problematic. Yeah. Yeah. So, as I said, quick ad break, just a minute or two, and then we are going to dig into why the Mongols actually left, because, oh boy, turns out that's a messy question that they totally forgot to acknowledge or deal with. Raise your hand if you're surprised, chat. Not me. Not me. So, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Let's do this. So, welcome back, chat. Very short ad break there. So, we, before the break, heard a statement from the documentary style of Age of Empires 4. That said, that a year after the battle at the Sayo River, at Muhi, the Great Khan Ogadai died, and that because of this, or they never actually specifically said because of this, I should say, right? They said the Great Khan Ogadai died, and then the Mongols returned, left Europe and went back into what is now geographically considered part of Asia. Right, they just turned around and they went back. They left. This implies a causal link, though they were very, very cautious about this. And so, as it turns out, this is not quite as easy of a question as we might think. First, though, if you are enjoying this, do want to make sure that if you haven't yet, you do consider joining the Discord server for Ludo History. Or, if you are a first-time viewer lurking around, having a good time, that you consider either following, subscribing, or supporting me on Patreon. All of which are great ways to help support the channel. Make sure you keep seeing content like this. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up, and really getting to show off some of my expertise in the coming weeks and months. And there's just a lot to be excited about, so if you're enjoying this, support is appreciated. Anyway, basically, as we're doing research here, there are no fewer than 4 explanations as to why after this battle, the Mongols left. There is nothing resembling consensus in the historical community. The most recent thing I'm going to show here is from 2018, and it doesn't seem like the field has stabilized in the last 3 years. So, oops. Oh, hey, look, it expired. Thank you. You love when they do that. Honestly. What was the point of this? Gale, HTML, come on, don't be a jerk. Ah, come on. How rude of it. I was going to rely on this one. So we're just going to quick zoom in on this, and then that way you can all at least see what it is. You do get short-term access by clicking on the HTML. So we can also get the one-page version of it right here. Right, there's just the preview, it's the first 2 paragraphs. So be it. But yeah, there are basically 4 major theories for the Mongols leaving, because while it is historically true that Ogadai Khan dies in December of 1241, and over the course of 1242, Batu Khan, Subutai, and the entire Mongol forces leave, the reasons why are just not really known. The first one is that Batu left in order to prosecute his claim to become the next Great Khan. Which sounds plausible. It's what the game strongly implies happened. But there's a couple of problems with it. I'm going to see if I can get this loaded. Because honestly, it's very rude of it. How very rude of it. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can cheat. I'm going to see if I can find a copy of this and then go from there. Because this is annoying me. We're going to see if we can beat these. What is it? Historians' explanations for the Mongol. Historians' explanations for the Mongol withdrawal. Oh, sure. Now it simply doesn't have... Now it simply doesn't have, a link on this one at all. You love to see it. Yeah, I've only got the... Gar. So be it. So be it. I took too long. That's my problem. So, thing is, there's kind of regardless, Rogers outlines two major problems, with this hypothesis. The first being, other Khans, when, Ogadai die, leave their armies to continue marauding in, e.g., southern Russia, what is now, I guess, southern Russia, while they go back to deal with the Kurultai. So why wouldn't Batu? Right? Subutai is plenty competent, and Subutai is not going to be making a claim for the Great Khanate. So why doesn't he just leave Subutai in charge while Batu and the small retinue return? Problem 2. Batu doesn't attend the Kurultai. There's a Kurultai in late 1242 that elects, I believe it's Koyuk, to be the next Great Khan. Batu's not there. He just doesn't show up. So, if the motivation is because he's trying to go attend the Kurultai after he gets news of Ogadai's death, why doesn't he attend? So that's kind of an issue. So much for that theory, right? Explanation 2. Climate. The argument here is that as you push farther into Europe than Poland, turns out the ecology starts getting really kind of shit for the horses of the Mongol army. Partially, things get warm. This doesn't stop them in China, but, you know, it is still notable. He was at his regular he returns to the Russian steppe, which is his Khanate, and he just kind of hangs out there. So he's on the far side of the Urals, just chilling. He's just there. No explanation is given in any historical source as to what he's thinking. So, oops. But yeah, he seems to just be in what is modern Russia. Anyway, explanation 2 is ecological. So, not only as you cross, Poland, the Great Plains of Eastern Europe give way to far worse terrain for pasture. And Hungary in particular is quite marshy. And so the argument is like, oh, well, maybe there just isn't enough pasture land. And they recognize that they're kind of on the brink of where they can actually sustain. And so they leave before they overextend themselves. This also has some problems, though. Certainly, while it is true that there is some ecological oomph behind it, as we'll talk about in a little bit more detail in a moment, but they've gone through unfriendly terrain elsewhere and are fine, and they've proven that they can be actually quite adaptive to different culinary ecological needs. So why aren't they just adapting like they did before and keep going? Option 3. They just really hate the Kumans, man. So the core of this explanation is basically, right, they attack the Rus, the Kumans run away into Hungary. They chase the Kumans into Hungary. Cuman refugees flee from Hungary into the Balkans and Transylvania, and then the Mongols chase them there. And that takes them away from Latin Christendom. Neat. Now, while the Cumans or Kipchaks are the well-known as part of the stated justification for attacking Hungary, according to contemporary sources, this seems rather remarkable of the extremity of hatred. So, I'm not so sure that holds much water either. Or option 4, they were planning on coming back and they just didn't for reasons, right? This is part of the idea of gradual conquest. They broke the power, they were going to reset, and then they were going to come back later, and then for a variety of reasons, including Batu's death, didn't. Okay, but like, they had the momentum. So none of these theories are flawless in the slightest. So what do? Now one might think, right, this was published in 1996. The hosts of Silesia and Wielkopolska, so Poles, Czechs, and the Teutonic Knights, because crusading orders were at Liegnitz, and they did get wrecked. The thought might be, since 1996, there may have been more consistency reached. Well, here's one from 2016. Climatic and environmental aspects of the Mongol withdrawal from Hungary in 1242 CE. Warm and dry summers from 1238 to 1241, followed by cold and wet conditions in the winter into 1242. Marshy terrain, reduced pastureland, decreased mobility, as well as the military effectiveness of the Mongol cavalry, wide despoliation and depopulation contributed to widespread famine. Okay, so here's arguments in favor of the ecological theory using far more sophisticated climatological information, and I believe there was one from 2019 even that also agreed with this. But here's an article from 2018 which specifically says, furthermore, we express skepticism that environmental and climatic factors played the decisive role in the Mongol withdrawal in 1242. While we acknowledge the evidence that long-term climate change has substantial effects on Hungary's settlement patterns and economy. Instead, we conclude that a nuanced, multi-console explanation for the Mongol withdrawal is necessary, taking greater consideration of local resistance and the military failures of the Mongol army than has previously been represented in international literature. Additionally, questions remain about the level and distribution of destruction and population loss, and how this episode can be used for interpreting later 13th and 14th century Hungarian phenomena. So, where are we at? Right? The four schools that Rogers outlines in the scholarship seem to still be holding true. And Rogers, while I cannot access the article, you should go try and find it yourself. Try and find this HTML link. Because it was up earlier today. It was working just before I went live. And was proposing, hey, there's a whole bunch of explanations here that may be working in tandem, but the exact reason of those or the exact mixture of those explanations is still super unagreed on. So it is not nearly as simple as Ogedai died and then Batu was like, hey, I'm gonna go back to Mongolia and go participate in the Kurultai. So we're done here. It is not nearly as simple as that, but instead a mix of ecological stuff, political stuff, potentially, one could easily see a case that rumors are being made that there is a much larger force being mustered from the Holy Roman Empire that is making them go, maybe we're overextended here and we need to back off. Or some other explanation that's not actually, that is, I am not representing well here, or that has not even really been emerged in scholarship yet. So, what is clear though, is while the game seems to strongly suggest that the Mongols just, wipe the floor with Silesia and Bohemia and Hungary, this is not the end for any of those states, and it's barely the middle, right? The Kingdom of Hungary will continue to be an incredibly important player in East Central Europe for another, realistically, 7 centuries. Right? Originally just as itself, right? And then after it gets absorbed by the Duchy of Austria as the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But the Kingdom of Hungary remains the crucial buffer state between, firstly, the Byzantines and the Holy Roman Empire, and then the Ottomans and the Holy Roman Empire. And it remains incredibly powerful well into the early modern period, where it then gets gobbled up by Austria. Poland is not even entering its greatest point yet, right? The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth of the 17th century. But Poland does not become a Mongol vassal state. It does not get gobbled up by the Holy Roman Empire, certainly not in its totality. And it will have a lot left, right? Poland has a rough go of it as a self-determining state, but the point is, right, the Mongols are not the crucial moment. The Mongols are a bad moment. It is certainly bad for the Teutonic orders, who take a better part of a century to recover, and then go beat up Lithuania a bunch. But it's not the end for any of these states. And so, once again, I am struck by, in the game, the focus on, we can only show things that are victories, right? And because we can only show things that are victories, and not patterns of resistances, patterns of threats of mobilization, and other tactical decisions, it's not actually able to provide context to why these battles matter, what the consequences of these battles are, or why people went to these battles in the first place. And I think, really, this one shows clearer than most anything where those limits are, because, yeah, as it turns out, there's a lot of reasons that are working together in the Mongol withdrawal that are not nearly fully understood, but certainly are more complex than just like, oh good, I died, therefore Batu fucked off. And on that note, why don't we get back into the game and take a look at the Mongol conquest of the Southern Song, which is going to have the same problems of it. I am way less familiar with this series of events, so if we have questions, definitely make sure you throw them in chat, and we will research them live together using good, rigorous historical sources. Not Wikipedia. Alright.
Kublai Khan, not content with rule over his own lands, coveted the riches of the Song dynasty to the south. He ordered his army to the twin cities of Fancheng and Shenyang, confident in his tried and tested tactics.
Also his gunpowder, because he has that.
Although Kublai's ultimate target was the fortress of Cheongyang, the Mongols would first have to control its sister city of Fancheng.
Alright, let's take a look at... Oh. I said let's take a look, but turns out that was easy. So, go stand on the borders of range. Hey, guess what? Come on. Don't run too far away. Stop running too far away. Hey. Get over here. No. Dang it. They escaped. Sad. Oh, hello. Actually, can I actually attack this? I cannot actually attack that. That is neutral. Alright, let's get our birds out. 3, 2, 1, bird. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Well. There we go. There wasn't much of an alternate path available there, was there?
The Mongols cleared the bridge of its guards and continued their advance on
Awesome.
Fancheng.
So much for that. Who's attacking? Just break this thing, honestly. Then we can burn that for resources. And then, I don't know. Is there stuff over here? We're gonna take our time with this one. Hello? There's resources here. Wait, what? I thought you were going down... Oh, there's a stand of trees in the way. Gotcha. Nice music. Scout, scout. Their scouts see my scouts, their scouts run away. Oh, well, goodbye. Keep running up this way. Huh. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? We've got so many options over here. Well then. I'm glad my scouts are such a non-threat that they're not even, like, remotely scared of them. Go on. I dare you. I dare you to watch me cap. Nice work, scouts. Nice work. You've almost killed them. I believe in you. The fight of the century. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Nailed it. Where is Hong Chung? It's all the way over here. Why are you pointing me in that direction? Honestly. There's another, looks like roadblock up this way. Oh. Fair enough. I think we got that covered. Don't lose sight of these guys, please. Well, fair enough. Let's see who's up here. Oh look, a whole ass town. And shinies. Not that I'm sure that the shinies do anything, but we'll try. We'll try. We'll get a little bit of resources from the murder of everyone and everything. Goodbye all of those, goodbye all of those. Everyone go attack these. There's another patrol over this way, apparently. Oh, there is another patrol over this way. Thrilling. Well, don't mind me. Well. Wreck this, wreck this. It's good for my resources. And, goodbye. Well, goodbye, Scout.
The Mongols spotted a fortified song camp, blocking the road to the Twin Cities.
Oh good, we just got
Seeing an
reinforcements.
opportunity to overwhelm the enemy camp, the Mongols called in their reinforcements.
Oh good.
Together, the two detachments would strike the camp from both sides, pincering the song.
Oh good. Just gonna set all these guys to be 3, and then, boom. Nope. Push out. Good, overwhelm them. Please attack. Please attack. 2. 3. Bust these down. And my last oh crap. My last scout got wrecked. That's alright. That's no problem. Good enough. What monks? Oh, there's temples. Exciting. Exciting. Oh, and my name is you? I don't actually know. Right, I'm not... It did sound a bit like our scouts were women, but I don't actually know if that's
their plan to seize the Twin Cities.
actually the case.
They would meet with an allied force at the gates of Fancheng. This assault force would attack the gates of Fancheng.
I could see it
while the
going
Mongol
either way,
vanguard would defend
honestly.
the siege weapons firing upon the cities.
Hello. All these friendly monks. You're so nice. Welcome. Thank you for letting us heal up. So, my instinct is that it's likely, well, My instinct is that while, women would be traveling with Mongol armies, and that women could and did participate in, things like, falcon hunting, and, scout-like roles in, non-military life. I am not aware of any sources being like, oh yeah, there were like totally women among the Mongol forces. Control 1. So that's my thought. I do not know enough about Mongolian gender structures gender norms in order to be able to say anything with confidence. So rather than say things that are wrong and bad, I will simply leave it as this. My impression from what I know is that it's unlikely but not outside the realm of possibility, and leave it at that. Now, yeah, I'm not sure, right, if the monk thing is based on much of anything either. Well, hello. Hello, random allied group.
The Mongols met with the allied assault force at
Oh,
the gates
jeez.
of Fancheng. As the allied force charged the gates, the Mongol vanguard moved to defend the siege weapons from Song attacks.
Oh crap, did I botch that? I super did. Crap. That's control 2. This is control 1. It's these guys and only these guys that are control 2. Crap. Helpful. So helpful. Very cool of you. Don't know what these guys are doing. The sense of it appears to be basically nothing. So, that's cool. Just kite that real quick. Don't mind me. Kiting. I'm kiting. Voila.
As the Mongols approached, the Song burned the bridge to Shanyang, preventing a direct assault
Darn.
on the fortress. The assault on Fancheng was met with a barrage of gunfire, forcing the Allied army to retreat.
Okay, so as far as that's going, that's fine. Oh, good. Thank you, AC. Genghis' daughter-in-law, mother. Okay, there's a lot of conversation going on in chat that I missed. Let's scroll back real quick.
With the gates still unbroken and under guard, the Mongols switched strategies
There's
and called on a large group of
Suratani Beki,
reinforcements to
the
bring in
mother-in-law
their mobile
of Genghis,
camp.
or daughter-in-law of Genghis Khan,
Mongols would
as a
besiege the mighty
female
twin
Mongol
cities.
leader, and then, yeah, Parisian and our perception of the Mongols that there were no neutral
The
villages for
Mongols
them,
rallied a force
but it
on the
is
bridgehead.
exaggerated
The
later on.
Mongol strategy was to hold the city's bridges so that no Song forces could escape and no reinforcements could enter.
And what am I doing? I need to keep at least 55 units at each of these places. I see. I see. Okay. That's fine. Let's grab a slice of these guys. Right, let's see how many I need to keep here in order for this to be fine. That'll kind of determine what we're doing here. So I've got almost double of what I need here. So, let's see if I can pull all these folks out. That looks pretty good. This is gonna be group 3. This is gonna be group 1. And then I need to get rid of group 2. ASAP? Oh. I've got squads in different spots. Awesome. That's a lot of things happening all at once. That's alright. Go stand over here. Oh, hey, there's a scout. These guys are just gonna set up in the ruins of this. Anyway, quick pause. Sorry, I just want a quick pause here, so I can take a look at chat. KJ says it's more likely that women took on combat roles in other steppe peoples long before the Mongols, so like Scythians, etc. So, do you know about the Mongols? Said that would be exceptional. So that makes sense, yeah. Cool. And then, yeah. Cool. Karabachi, welcome. We are doing too many traditional RTS things, and I'm getting lost. I'm getting a bit lost in the sauce by the power of a whole lot of things to set up. These guys should all get healed, which will be great. And then I can set up the squad right here. Set them up right there, set them up right there. What do you have in archery range? Cool. Set up. Make a big old squad for me, please. That's a market, that's not helpful. Upgrade, upgrade. These guys are all just gonna run a couple of upgrades, then build a bunch of these. You're gonna upgrade that, and then, I don't know, do stuff afterwards. Cool. You are working on the upgrade already, you're gonna work on that upgrade. Spears. Spears are dirt cheap, I can build a lot of them fast. Horsemen. I can build a lot of them fast. The White Stupa. Right in the Song Fortress. Amazing. Cool. These guys are just gonna like show up here too, because that's fine. These guys are all healed, and so they're gonna ride around to here. These guys are gonna ride around to here, and then This squad is all doing upgrades, so start building man-at-arms. Start building archers. Perfect. We've nailed it. These guys are all doing their thing. These guys are happily building some more horsemen. Also, why are we not... Oh, cool. This all counts as a... This counts as a, one of those oh-so-handy, ovus. Also a blacksmith. That's really helpful. Give me the improved versions of these. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That'll help a lot with my production abilities. You're doing your thing, you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing. Awesome. These guys are doing their things, working on it slow-like. And then I need to send a huge squad of folks around to this bridgehead. Awesome. We're actually going to send this group... This group here is actually going to go all the way around to here, because that's the spot that is freest. Shrine Reaper, have we discovered anything exciting in my degree field? Here in the back half of 2020, or in the last moments of 2021? Not really, actually. You may be surprised. It's been relatively quiet for Norse studies. A lot of stuff kind of continuing in the traditions that they've kind of been going, though I will say, need a shill for a book. Need to shill for a book for a moment, because Bright Ages came out. While that is not new research, right? Nothing in Matthew Gabriel and David Perry's The Bright Ages is new. It is a synthesis of like 3 decades of scholarship. But it is very good. And that is almost the same thing. Sweet. So that makes 43. Which means I need to send another... Basically this squad. Need to all join them here. Meanwhile, this squad is all working on that. Once these guys finish assembling, I'll be able to have them join. Grab those. And voila. Interesting. So AC points out that Marco Polo does actually have a description of woman in a combat role. So, quote, after this, the king took his daughter with him into many battles, and not a cavalier in the host displayed so much valor. At last the damsel rushed into the midst of the enemy, and seizing upon a horseman, carried him off to her own people. We'll now quit of this episode and proceed to relate a great battle which fell out between Kaidu and Argon, the son of Abaga, the Lord of the East. From chapter 49, Travels of Marco Polo the Venetian, translated by Thomas Wright. That's super cool. Thank you for pointing that out, AC. Awesome. And that should give all of these guys...
The Mongols took up position on the last bridgehead. Seeing that the Mongols were attempting to block the city's escape routes, the Song
we
began
do want to
planning a
keep
counterattack.
building... Oh, we are full up on people. We are literally full on people. That's alright. So all of this is going to be Squad 1. All of this is going to be Squad 2. And everyone here is going to be Squad 3. That should give me a pretty durable blockade. Apparently her name was probably Kutulun? That's cool. Very cool. Okay, so that's broken. That's broken. We've got everyone here.
The Song launched their counterattack on the Mongols holding the bridgeheads. The
Two.
Mongols had to hold the 3 bridgeheads against the Song attacks.
That should be easy enough. I've got a good number. Okay. These guys seem to be first. So, strong beginning. Strong beginning. Cool, these are brought back into existence. Frustrating they don't have a siege engine, but that's alright. Wait, what? Go on, I believe. Okay, the scout is not super helpful. Awesome. One. I've got like no... So that's a problem. I've got like no guys over here. Let's just like drop their rally point up there. These guys need to rally up here. This is definitely the weakest of the 3. I've got a lot of crossbows and like spears, but not a lot of the things I actually would really need in order to be super successful over here. Perfect. That should be okay. Honestly, step up here. Like, just, let's get some archers up here. And these guys are all fine, because these guys are just feeding. This squad is kind of in rough shape. I actually want to back up here. Let these guys all sort of feed. Want my cavalry, which I don't have a lot of them left, to all push up. And then take care of these guys. Cool. And now we want my stables, which are not here, are right here. Build a bunch of these guys, and drop them all up here. Perfect. We are done. Oh, we win. Surprise. Well, that went well.
To stop an all-out Mongol assault on their walls, the Song destroyed the remaining bridges to the Twin Cities. Unable to advance, the fortress of Zhangyang remained locked to the Mongols. But with a siege established, the Khan's cause was not yet lost.
Yeah. Okay, so we're actually going to look at kind of one big set of things, I guess, over here. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to look at some basics about the siege here, in order to see how they're doing it, while we take a look at some of the rest of this. Hey, look at that! Queens of the Empire. We were just talking about this, chat. Good work. The pre-Empire life of Mongol women was one of constant peril, where prominent wives were prizes to be won or stolen. But when Genghis Khan united the Mongol nation, he transformed the position of women from possessions to equals. a reflection of belief in the spiritual balance between male and female. His wives and daughters would rule the conquered territories as queens, while their husbands and sons went away on campaign. Soon, almost the entire empire was ruled by Mongol queens. However, after Genghis Khan's death, it would be his own sons that caused this delicate balance to topple. The position of women once again became uncertain as they were forced from power, violated, murdered, and chased into hiding. I'm glad we gave them so much agency in this. And so the Khanates descended into rivalry. I don't love that entry. Chat, can you spot the problem? Oy vey. The problem is agency, right? A man provides agency to the women who then rule, who then lose them. Yeah, exactly, KJ. Makes it sound like men gave them power, men took away the power. Because it is obviously the case, right? AC just quoted from Marco Polo, which we read a moment ago, which indicates that, you know, after the death of Genghis Khan, clearly things did not exactly go back into desperation and pain. Given that, you know, in the Yuan court, evidently women could still achieve both military and political power through that. It also, I think, neglects some of the ways in which pre-empire women could enact agency and resistance to this system of feuding and capture, and just makes it be like, oh yeah, that was just how it was until the one guy changed it. Until the great man changed it, this is just like the way things were, and there were no resistances to it. It's super unnuanced. Even if it's factually right, in the strictest terms, it doesn't say anything factually wrong, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case. That the empire under Genghis Khan was a time of relative agency and societally recognized political power, which then declined again as the Mongol Empire fractures into the various Khanates. But not being wrong is not the same thing as being right. And this game feels like the epitome of the term of that dichotomy. There's very few cases where I've been like, yeah, this is just wrong. But there's also a bunch of cases where I've been like, I don't think that's right either. Let's see. For instance, if we pull back up our yonder research window, which I apparently have stopped capturing. Well, that's peculiar. Please capture something. Please capture something. Where did my capture window go? There we go. Alright, let's try this again. Google Scholar. Nope. Thank you, lag. Scholar.google.com. Okay. First result. 2018. Exactly, Rat. That sounds much more reasonable. It's worth pointing out that under Genghis Khan, the ruling position of his daughters was formalized. After his death, it stopped being formal because his sons didn't want to limit their own power, but women still exert a great deal of power in informal ways. So, we just got a preview here, but from 2018, Women and the Making of the Mongol Empire. Women in Steppe Society, Ho Elena Burta, Conquered Women, Women and the Guard, the Army and Succession, Sons-in-Laws, Daughters and Conquest, Turagena, Sorkoktani, and Ulkaimish, Consort Houses in the Successor Khanates, and course, Consort Houses in the Ilkhanate. So, over the course of 300 pages, we're going to see a whole bunch, and we're going to see how many things they actually talk about, because we're just going to like fact check them on the first claim here, if we can, in the pre-consort things. Let's see. So, examines the lives and careers of particular women at the pinnacle of Mongol society, among them Genghis Khan's mother, his senior wife, as well as 3 imperial widows who made a mark on succession to the Grand Khanate in the 1240s and 50s. Describes overlapping categories of elite women, senior and junior wives, senior and junior princesses, daughters-in-law from illustrious consort houses, daughter-in-laws from vanquished families, then situates them all in proper places in Mongol history. The roles that women played in the birth and expansion of the Mongol Empire were varied yet always essential. Some roles were logistical. Women managed the nomadic camps with their inhabitants gear and flocks, the biannual migrations between summer and winter campsites, and the irregular traveling camp movements during military campaigns. In the imperial case, senior wives ran camps with the assistance of servants and staffs, while junior wives and concubines lived and worked under their seniors' supervision. These staffs grew to hundreds or thousands of people once the empire began to form, and imperial women began to cooperate with the imperial bodyguard, whose task was to safeguard them, the ruler, and their encampments, which formed the heart of a traveling city. So, critical to nomadic economy, critical to politics, and is through women we catch a glimpse of the losers in the wars, the dispossessed peoples whose subjugation fueled the empire's extraordinary expansion. So, yeah, cold, lawless, and politically unstable, okay. Let's see where things are. This is all background. Good, now we are still in the scope. The end. Okay. Okay, so. Look at that. We've got, we begin with marriage, since women's most extensive powers tend to appear after marriage through their status as wives, mothers, or widows. Next comes labor, since they did a whole bunch of stuff because people do lots of things. We must investigate their economic opportunities, since their daily business included the management, control, and exploitation of animal, human, and other resources. Let's make that a bit bigger for y'all. Women also had profound influence on the family, managed upbringing of children. Oh look, also hospitality and religious duties. Essential to questions of succession and inheritance, since her status shaped the options open to her children. Women were also political, as advisors, as political actors themselves, or as links that joined allied families. And thank you, Hoplu, just now, for the follow. If it is your first time here, please do say hello. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'm glad you're enjoying this. I am primarily not a Mongol historian. I primarily do medieval Europe, specifically Scandinavia. But, we are trying to do good historical research and break down the claims that Age of Empires 4 is making in its campaigns live on Twitch collectively, using better sources than just Wikipedia and random websites. So, obviously we do not have oomph to go through the whole thing, even though we are about to run out of the preview and what is available from it. But I think it's safe to say that they, in fact, were not powerless, and were instead extremely, astonishingly powerful, in ways that do not necessarily result in formal status. And so, I am once again struck, as we click back over to Age of Empires. Please. I believe in you. There we go. Where they just kind of exist and wait to be grabbed by men. It's safe to say this is a bad write-up that does not take into account the most recent scholarship on the topic, and one that really doesn't do itself any favors. It just doesn't do itself any favors. And that's the thing that's sad about this, right?
Cities did not yield. The Mongols would need a new tactic to breach the Great Song Fortress. Rather than another costly head-on assault, they planned to cut off the cities by blocking the critical supply route at Lumanshan.
Okay. So, this is a case where I think the game kind of does itself no favors. In that, one, the game is claiming to be good enough for education that you can use it for college credit. Those materials are supposed to come out later this month. We're going to take a look at them on stream once they do. Thing two, its focus on formal, explicit systems of power as the only systems of power that matter ends up really, really, really understating the nuances and complexities of the world. And three, its focus on military as the primary shaper of political events and of society in its mechanics means that it ends up doubling down on the erasure of elite and actually, especially elite women. It actually does a better job with non-elite women because villagers just alternate. So, really, elite women in particular get almost totally erased from the narratives, even in situations where they are explicitly mentioned. As happened in the Angevin campaign, where they talk about the lady, I think it's Nicola, and then you don't get to play as her in Lincoln, despite her being the commander of the defending forces in the Siege of Lincoln and the in the Anarchy. Also, Eleanor of Aquitaine just like doesn't exist, despite being mentioned repeatedly through the Anarchy in the Angevin campaign. Just saying. Now,
The Song defector, General Lu Zheng, advised Kublai Khan that the best strategy to take Shenyang was to construct a blockade, completely cutting it off.
So just casually...
Lu Zheng led the Mongol army to the trade route at Lumanshan and set his plan in motion.
So just gonna casually mention that
plan
Lu Zheng
depended on recruiting local
exists.
fighters who could build defenses. The first step was to eliminate the Song garrison near the village of Lumen.
Just you're gonna be real casual about mentioning that there was a defector, aren't we? Oh hey, look, I see them. Hey, guess what? Get caught. You're gonna get caught. No. You don't get to run away. I run faster than you. We're gonna cheese you. God, it's so cheesy. I love this AI. This AI is so magnificently, hysterically exploitable. Only go a certain distance away. I believe in you. Who cares they're getting peppered with arrows just out of reach? You're just gonna stand there and take it. Voila. Parisian, please get sleep. Oh, hysterical rat. To paraphrase the secret history of the Mongol queens, Genghis didn't trust his sons to govern. So just conquer. And so, he made his daughters the governors instead. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see the very explicit, both political motivations, and social beliefs as to what is comparatively difficult, what is comparatively easy. Oh. So this is bad. Alright. I lose one guy, and that should be about it. Because, smush. Actually, these guys are all archers. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, there's a hand cannon there. Well, that was nearly awkward. 3. Fair enough. Cool. We are now in a allied area? That's weird. What do you mean allied area? Oh, do I no trust up here? Who's up here? Anyone? No one? Just a bridge. Alright. Fair enough. This must be where reinforcements come from later. When in doubt, I like having these guys be the advance guard. Hey. Oh crap, that's a castle. Problem. Well, not that big a problem, because apparently 50 people is the answer to any problem. But you know. Boo. Brad Chicken Lord. That pun does not even merit being read on stream. Know that it is seen, and it is appreciated, and the appropriate reaction is boos. Oh hey, would you look at that? We have a town center.
The Mongol army tore through the Song garrison, and with these
Alright,
guardians removed,
alright.
the people of Lumen gave their support to Liu Zheng and Kublai Khan.
Let's go.
Controlling Lumen allowed Liu Zheng to employ Chinese tactics and equipment,
Yeah.
including the construction of stone walls.
This is actually quite famous. In the Mongol defensive, Kublai Khan hires Chinese, both tacticians and engineers. And then goes, hey, what if... Okay, so what do we have? Build enough walls to fully block this road? Oh, wild. Okay. Okay, I see it. First things first, we're gonna actually, like, take control of these spaces. At least 2 of these. by just spreading out here. But we need to actually be like, oh wait, actually, sorry, mining camp right there. We need to actually like build a lot of things actually. Huh.
The people of Lumen reported that the village of Boheco, located to the west,
Cool.
would also welcome Lu Zheng's arrival. If the general could get forces to Boheco, it would add both an economic and military boost to his blockade.
Understood. Destroy bridges using the siege weapons attack ground command. Okay, okay, okay. What? Work on that. Move the stone gathering rate. That gets all these guys over here. And with this squad, we're gonna actually run everyone off this way. Meanwhile, we'll let these guys keep doing their thing. Hopefully this will give me some military production buildings, because if I can avoid building those, that'd be pretty handy. Hey, would you look at that? Military production buildings. And another stone mine.
Boheco not only welcomed Lu Zheng's men, but members of the local militia even defected to the Mongol cause.
Grenadiers? And? Hey! Look at that! Look at them! Okay, we need to block that road. That's fine, that's not a problem. We got plenty of people right now, so... Stone walls. Straight across here. That should be fine. If there are any more people here, I want them to work on that. And then we can... 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? Who is... Oh. Hey, what are you doing up there? Don't do that. Are those Juganus? Yeah, look at them go. And there's another thing up there, more of these guys. Nice. Nice. Okay, so that's enough for that, that's enough for that, that's enough for that. Just, like, steamroll them. Let's go. Cool. Built all of those I needed. So, stone tower. Okay, I need at least 2 more villagers here to build up a lot of things. I really need to build a lot of resources. Because as soon as that's done, we're actually going to build 2 more villagers here. Need to be just building stuff, quick as I can. Oh hey, would you look at that? These 2. There we go. You need to build... Don't care about the village. Do care about the siege workshop. Do care about an arsenal. Got a blacksmith over here, so I'm actually good on that. Hand cannons aren't super... Yeah, I can deal with some... when in doubt... Bunch of really cheap archers. Love that. And then we'll grab these guys. They'll build a wall. Right across here. That means these guys are actually going to back up. And I need to stack people on top of those. Do need a military building here, don't I? Archery range.
Stout walls now blocked off the first of
Wait,
the
what?
major routes to Shangyang.
What do you mean, first of the major routes? Who's not... What, are you not... Do you not think that's blocked off enough? Well, fine, I'll build a second one. I'll dare... actually, I need to put one of these gates in there first. Cool. So with that wall built, first things first. Tower. Wait, what? Cool. These guys are gonna do their thing. And then... need to block this road all the way, which is annoying, but also fun. Okay. Who's not working on this? Awesome. Let's try that again. Stone wall. Straight across here. Nope. Too far away. Straight across here. There we go. Now. Why do I not have people working on this? Then, archery range needs to be building a bunch of, like, cheap archers. We can get people up there. This archery range will actually want to... Oh, that's an arsenal. Who's next? Siege engine workshop, I need to get... Siege engines, siege engines, siege engines, where you be? That's a granary. Siege workshop. Okay. So, you are building that, which should finish that, and then off we go. So... I hear that they're still speaking very modern. I will say, right, the only thing there is that they're still speaking eminently modern. Chinese, which is maybe not optimal, but also fine. Spriggled is the cheaper one. I don't want to be too greedy. Oh crap, that's bad. That is quite bad. How's this one doing? This one is almost empty. Where's the next one? There's one up, like... That's gold. That's not helpful. Where's their stone? I thought I saw there's a stone outcropping. Okay, but like, what if we built a second one like that? Voila, we have built a lot of towers. Where are my Juganu's? Go stand up here. Like, that's your job. Go stand on top of this. Go stand on top of this. Spears are gonna all stand over here. These guys are whatever. You're still working. So, cool. Now, one more stone wall. Straight across here. Nice. This is going well. Also though, siege engines. Nested bees are fairly cheap. Let's build like 4 of those. Don't need to worry too much about this, it's double thick walls. So we're gonna put them actually over here. And then... just gonna have this lot back up. This lot are gonna back up here. These guys are all stacked up there, which is great. Hand cannons? What if we went, upgrade that? Rest in peace, all of our resources. Grab a spare, grab someone who's not doing anything. Gonna build a keep. We're gonna use a keep to defend this one, I think. This is definitely the weakest of the paths. Ugh, getting around that's gonna be actually really annoying though. That's alright. Where do we have people sleeping? Not anywhere super important. Go work on like wood collection, I guess. Build like a lumber camp right here. And then we'll be able to just like trade for what we need. Because we do have a lot of food right now, so we're gonna sell a bunch of that. Or for the gold. And then... what? Hand cannons? Hand cannon, hand cannon, hand cannon. These guys are gonna station themselves up on here. Over here we've got more of those.
Complete. The Mongols' great blockade now cut off the Song cities. However, the Song commanders would not leave Shangyang to stand alone, and sent forces to break through the Mongol barrier.
That's fine. I don't have a gate on here, so that's fine. I'm gonna grab 3 of these guys. I'm actually gonna drop a second keep right behind this one. Okay. So the other thing is, right, all blockade runners, gonna try and get up here. You are going to build tower. You're going to build a gate first, so I don't like lose track of it. You work on a tower there. Now we're just going to use a bunch of... right, we're going to primarily just use a lot of... Don't love that I don't have any cavalry over here, actually. Let's send some of the... these guys over here, just in case. Let's send some of these guys
descended on Liu Zheng's men.
over
The general needed to defend
here.
what he had taken from his former masters.
Yeah, you're fine. Do I have a person quiet in the area? Where are... I don't have any archers up here. Ah. If I can get the nest of bees to attack here, that would be huge. Yeah, look at that. Look at them go. That's disgusting. I do want a... give me... where? They're all over here. Okay. Gonna put one up here, or put one over here, I guess. Put the second one over here. Well, these 3 are all gonna go over here with the stated goal of repair. Oh wait, there's 2 right there. How's this squad doing? Ugh, that's bad. Not too bad though. The complete lack of a station guard there is actually very bad. So let's grab a bunch of these guys. Not you. Basically just these guys. And they're all gonna run over here. Meanwhile, you have a tower already on it. Perfect. Why are you not attacking? Please attack. I don't care if you hit the wall. Wow. This is just dumb. Like, proud of them. But seriously. Put another tower on this. And you are going to... We're going to buy a bunch of stone, actually. We'll be able to afford these. Put a cannon on this. And then we've got a siege engine, or the siege engine workshop up here. Up here, which is going to drop 2 more right here. Well then. Truly thrilling gameplay, isn't it? Watching a bunch of bombards lose to a bunch of... Oh yeah, and these guys need to go over here. I do have an archery range here, don't I? Where did I put that? I was working on something. Oh, no one's building it. Gotcha. How's this one doing? You're gonna work on rebuilding that? Yes. Those are all fine, those are all fine, and they're all dead. Alright. Work on that for fun, I guess. Put them up here. Just because I can. For the sake of doing something, let's put them up there. Okay, now seriously, where is the nearest empty villager? There's so many of them right here. Is there somewhere else that there are? Yeah, there we go. And die. Everyone die. Wow, the nest of bees is kind of good. That is my official stance on the matter, is that they are kind of good. Because that's 4. Just done. Okay, they're working on building another thing. I don't really care. We can buy more... Or get more gold, I guess. More hand cannons. Oops. Do your repairs. Awesome. Wait, what were you guys all doing? Okay. Where are these guys? There we go. 3 of these guys in here. Please participate. Truly the height of commentary, isn't it? Watching everyone stand here while they slowly run things at me. Like, the nest of bees just completely dominates them. These guys just exist in case if someone, like, walks through. What are you doing? Could they fire, please? There we go. Goodbye. Hey look, they're all gonna stand over there next to this one. Is anyone even, like, attacking over here? Is literally anything happening here? Yeah, there we go. Finally. Like, I mean, to be fair, this does get the relative tedium of a well-prepared siege. But, honestly, this is frankly disgusting. I've got like 2 hand cannons and then a whole bunch of just people with cannons. And they're slowly beating their head against this, and then they all die. There's none left. There is nobody left. The Huachas just like steamrolled them, and then we're done.
The Mongols maintained control of the Song trade route at Lumanshan, cutting off Shanyang from the south.
AC, there might be, I don't know. I've not been taking a look super recently at like historical games in development.
Kublai Khan's plan to weaken the
Right,
Song
the closest I
fortress
can think of is
was
the one that's
working.
already out, Victoria Victus Siege Survival. But that's not tedious, that's like, that's just stressful as War Mine style stuff. That game is fully out though, so we may need to take a look at it at some point in the not too distant future. Now, what does this have to do anything? Okay. Okay. In 1227, Genghis Khan had died attempting to maintain control over the most critical trade route in the known world, the Silk Road. Notably, Genghis Khan had control of approximately 10% of the flow of goods across the Silk Road. A vast route connecting China to the Mediterranean, whoever controlled the Silk Road had power over the world's economy. Except for, the Americas. Exotic fabrics, metals, medicines, and animal products flowed east and west, as did the traditions and expertise of the peoples under the empire. Civilizations mingled and prospered. I do not like the term civilization there. At the height of Mongol power, the Silk Road became an information highway, implying that it wasn't before then. Its rapid postal system delivered messages and military intelligence across the continent. The only sentence in this thing that is fine. But as the empire began to fracture, so too did its control over the Silk Road. This vital corridor will continue to be contested for generations to come. So, chat, quick poll. What's the biggest problem with this entry? Because there's one glaringly stupid one that is a big deal. I pointed out some of the smaller ones, but does anyone know what the big one is? KJ and AC, you both got it. You both got it. The Indian goddamn Ocean. Minimum 3/4 of the goods that traveled along the Silk Road traveled from Chinese ports to Southeast Asia through the territories of Java and Malaysia and Indonesia and across to the Indian coast, around the Indian coast, and across the Bay of Arabia to enter the Muslim world, or enter the, I guess, at this point, I guess it's the late Abbasid Caliphate, and then later the Ottoman Empire, and from there flow into the Mediterranean trade routes and into Europe. 3/4. But no, the Silk Road controls the global economy. It's so blindingly obvious that maritime trade routes maybe are important. And I'm real tired of video games and pop histories talking about the overland routes as the only thing of note, because those are the ones that Marco Polo happens to use. Onto the smaller criticisms. While this third paragraph is alright, this last sentence is, Oh yeah, he totally did it. He went overland like halfway and then got on the boat. Because he took a boat from Venice to the Levant, crossed overland. Did he actually? Did he take a boat all the way from Baghdad? Oh no, he used the boat to go back. That's what it is. Okay, went from what, Macau all the way around to the Arabian coast. Yeah, he must have gone all the way across. So, like, the boats, they're boats. You love boats. Maimonides' brother died on that trade route on a boat. But yeah, anyway, smaller criticism. Civilizations mingled and prospered is a completely unnecessary sentence in this. Also, it provides a weird sense of who is controlling and benefiting from the Silk Road, right? If they had replaced this term with cultures, I would have been totally fine with it. But civilization is a really frustrating concept that implies a level of homogeneity and of hegemony within an area that just doesn't make sense when talking about the trade routes across Central Asia. Like, really makes no sense whatsoever. I would also point out that, the overland trade routes of the Silk Road through northern India are the method through which Buddhism enters China in the, I believe, Tang Dynasty, centuries before the Mongols. So it's not like it's an information highway only under the Mongols. Well, it is true that the overland trade routes are really helpful for those military orders and intelligence. It was like that before. And obviously it's contested because everyone contests it. Because it travels through a ton of cultures. The different cultures that exist along the Silk Road traded amongst each other. And therefore, of course, it's contested because there are the different towns and cultures and communities on the different points of the road control that part of the road. It's not an inevitability nor an ordinary state of affairs for one person to control the entire thing, nor does it's actually sensible to phrase it as if that is the ideal. 2 paragraphs after saying that different people coming into contact is good, you say it is contested as if it ought to be owned by a single homogeneous person or group or state. It's so annoying. God.
Crippled by the loss of their supply route, the twin cities of Shenyang and Fengcheng were ready to fall.
It would be so easy to do it better.
Trebuchets would test the mighty walls of the Song Fortress.
Oh boy.
And Kublai Khan would not stop the bombardment until
Freaking
he sat on the throne
statism.
of all China.
Yeah. Okay. Kublai Khan's siege engineer, Ismail, brought with him a devastating new trebuchet. With this mighty weapon, he could strike at the fortress with a force like no other. That's fine, because the counterweight trebuchet does play a big role in this battle, as does gunpowder. So, we're okay with this. We are completely and totally okay with this. We'll see if this is just a stomp or if they're actually going to make this be like a challenging bit of gameplay. Now, admittedly, I'm playing on easy, so I shouldn't talk about the difficulty too much. But at the same time, I only play on easy so that I can actually talk to you. And if I just like spend 5 minutes AFK while talking to you, I don't have to pause the game lest I get overrun. Now, Fancheng.
After years of resisting Kublai Khan's siege, Fan Cheng and Shangyang still refused to submit to Mongol rule. To take the cities, Kublai Khan would harness the full power of his empire by enlisting an ally from the Ilkhanate of Persia.
Yeah. Hey, look at this sword.
Ismail, a siege expert, would lead the Mongol army in the construction of the
I love-
Hui Pao, an immensely powerful counterweight trebuchet.
Okay, we got Kurultai,
This new
White
trebuchet,
Stupa.
once constructed, could hurl boulders greater in size than any weapon before it.
So, we need to prepare some siege engines. What are we actually looking at here?
During the years-long siege, Kublai Khan had established lucrative trade routes with Chinese market
Hey, look,
towns
we're
who
using the
swore
same map.
loyalty to him.
Look at that.
These trade partners were vulnerable to Song attacks. They could deliver valuable resources to fund Ismail's efforts.
Okay. We need to build a few more allies here. Is this another market? Yeah, it is. Where's our market? Do we have a market? Like, actually, where are our buildings? Do we have any, or is it all just, like... Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. We seem to have very few things. Do I have villagers? I do have villagers. First things first, then. Build me a market. Second thing second. Food. Build a gear. Right here, I guess. Build a pasture. Oh. I got more 2 pastures over there already. Perfect, then we are all set. There. We don't have a lot of natural resources in the area. We seem to have murdered the heck out of everything. So we're just gonna have to rely on a bunch of relatively small scale forces, but building more
The Mongol
traders.
commercial network could supply Ismail in stone so long as he had enough traders on the road.
Where's the trade route here? We're just gonna have to all go to this one because that's nearby and therefore easily defensible. Right, that's just going like around there. What else are we looking at here? A lot of folks over here. A lot of folks over here. What does Ismail do? Just have vision. Alright. Sweet. Oh, sweet. This is another one. That was foolish of me to not recognize. That's alright. We are now generating stone as well, which means we have a lot of military buildings, which means first things first, upgrade, upgrade, and upgrade. That uses most of those. Siege engineering improved, fitted leatherwork improved. Those are all fine. We need to wait just a moment to... Well, we can get more archers at least. I do need to send some forces around to the northern allies, so we're actually going to send pretty much this whole squad around off to the north. Because, lo and behold, they are maybe not in the greatest of condition. Well, these guys can hold for a little while. Don't think they can hold forever, so we're going to send all these guys down here. We're going to have these guys back up, but this squad is basically just holding up here. Fab. That should provide relative stability to these while I build up my forces right here. What else can we do? We can now already start upgrading more things. And then horse. There. That puts us out of stone, which is fine. What do we have? We don't have an archery range, do we? Or a siege workshop. Which, you know, perhaps suggest we should focus on that. Go kill a bunch of these guys. More people working on food. I don't have any sources of gold except the traders. Right, I've got 210 a minute. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. So, what happened there? Two people just randomly ate it? Okay. Oh, sweet. Our outposts have cannon. Sweet. Anyway. We have traction trebuchets. We don't have counterweight trebuchets yet. Oh, you can build counterweight trebuchets. He can just build people. That's amazing. I love that. Okay. What else are we looking at here? He needs to build an counterweight trebuchet. Or no, I need that one. 1,000 stone. Oh. Oh. Alright. I vibe with that. Oh crap, someone's on the move. Sweet. So that should be fine for that, though. I probably want to be careful. Where's my guy with the crown? I actually probably want to send Liu Zheng back up to the van of the army. That seems wise. Just on principle, that seems wise. Okay. Veteran archers to elite archers. I've got a bunch of those, so that's fine. Who shot at him? Who? Honestly. Stop standing in range of the cannons. Why would you walk in range of the cannons? Fool. Elite manga dies. Let's build a bunch more of them. Then in about another minute, we should be all set to build the next phase of it. I do want to build a bunch of spears. That is important. Let's build it like... Ooh. That's maybe more than I needed. Didn't realize I was building the 2x. That's fine, though. What do you mean Ismail has been injured? Where the fuck did he go? What's he doing up there? Hello? What is he doing there? At no point did I tell him to walk this way. Oh well, by the time he gets up there, I should be all set for the next to have enough resources to move on. So that's something at least. Another attack here? Cool. That's working quite well. Give me more of them. Give me a lot more of them. Then I've got one mangonel, which is not even finished being built yet. Not obvious to me. Cool, yeah, no, literally hasn't finished being built yet. That's alright. Okay, that should be okay. And then these guys are now elite archers, and these guys are almost elite spearmen. And we've got a bunch of things here. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. I want to be careful about this, because obviously I don't want to spend too much of the wrong thing. That one should be okay. Now, you, sir, 1,000 stone. It's like 30 seconds. Give it to me. I can't buy stone. I can only sell food. Oh, would people actually be using a formula and math to figure out what the stones would hit? Yes, absolutely yes. The engineering abilities? Ooh, gunpowder. Give me gunpowder units. I want guns. Not because I need them, but because they're fun. They are grossly overpowered and therefore extremely fun. I've got plenty of... Let's build a bunch of horsemen. Right, nice and easy, cheap. Not risky at all. Voila. That gives us one of these. Which is great. And then we are a quarter of the way to building another one of those. Notice everything actually should be focused on... Be very careful.
The Mongols could mount their assault on the twin cities.
The question is where I'm actually...
Ismail's trebuchet had a far greater range than those of the Song defenders. The Mongols could attack from a safe distance.
Where I'm actually attacking from. I don't actually know where the landing point is. Oh. Well, fair enough. I need to build a bridge. But first things first, I want to just dunk on anything that looks like... Oh yeah, of course, I can use you, plus Imperial Falcon. And I can attack that with that, and he's just gonna dunk on them. Now, I do want another thing soon.
Drawn to the bombardment from the trebuchet, the Song soldiers left gaps elsewhere in their defense, which the Mongols could exploit.
No, I can't do that yet. I can't exploit it yet, because I have to dunk on all of these first. Also, 700 stone. You're working on it, that's okay. Let's get more traders, because... Actually, it won't matter, will it? The stone bonus is the stone bonus. Anyway, I do have gunpowder, so where's my archery range? That is my archery range. I don't have chemistry? What do you mean I don't have chemistry? Chemistry is long, it takes a boatload of time to do. Okay. Let's queue up that one. Oh crap, that was dumb of me, but that's alright. What? Oh. Hysterical. Just gonna attack that one real quick. How are this squad doing? This squad is kinda getting rolled, but that's alright.
With Fancheng cracked open and the city under active bombardment, the Mongols could now rebuild the bridges that the song had burned 6 years earlier.
Why are you not built? What do you mean you're not built? Finish building that. And you, have you finished this bombardment yet? You can't see. Grr. Let me see. I suppose I should build 2 scouts, because they'll at least help that cause. Okay, now he's all set, so let's go over here. Because I want to break as many of these as I can, because they annoy me. And because of that, I want to just take care of them. Also, no one else actually poses much of a threat, so like, it's kind of whatever. Are you actually going to like build up over there, or are you? If Ismail could build an ordinary-ass counterweight trebuchet, actually, that'd help a lot. Because now I've got one guy that's going to blow up all of those. And I've got one guy that can just kind of open up gaps. Oh well, work on that. Okay, now you gonna attack over here. All the way over there. Hello? Are you not... What are you doing? What is happening? You're not even working on building this. I thought he just said infantry are able to build that. That's alright. There we go. They're just sitting there staring at it. We do have a bunch of gunpowder now. Do I have a siege workshop? I do. I want Hwachas. Those are bombards, those are mangonels, those are traction trebuchets. Those aren't helpful. Those aren't what I wanted. That's alright. Go for one of these. Go for a bunch of these. Now where is Ismail? Actually though, where is Ismail? I completely lost track of him.
With the bridge rebuilt, the doors to Fancheng were wide open.
Sir? Okay, I want to build a second one of those because I can. And then... Wait, what? Oh, wait, pal, where are you going? I need you to stand on the far side of the river, and then go boom. Honestly, it's like none of these guys have done this before. Oh, don't overextend, don't overextend, don't overextend, don't overextend, don't overextend. Okay, now we charge. Not exactly drowning in resources here, but...
swept into Fancheng, striking down any Song warriors in their path.
At least a little bit carefully. And you are Please tell me you're attacking the right thing. Hui Pao is attacking that. Fab. You should also attack this, because you can. This Hui Pao should go blow up this, because it can. Not because it's important, but because I can. Where? Good lord. Honestly. Why are you not attacking this? When you need to attack all these guys? Well, meanwhile, these guys need to all move in here. Someone needs to get him up. Since everyone is bad. Attack the useful things. If you're gonna stand here, at least attack the right things.
Song forces destroyed one of the market towns
Ow.
trading with Kublai Khan's army.
Whatever.
Only one trade route remained open to the Mongols.
I don't actually care about that, because you might notice we're fine. We're not amazing, but we're fine. The Barbican is almost down, and that should be enough. Admittedly, that's only half the fight, but that is half the fight. Attack a person. Does that do anything? Bah. That's alright. There should be enough people there. Now. Got a lot of resources right now, so let's go elite manga dies from out of here. Elite some of them, some of them. Don't actually care about that too much. Bunch of them. We'll go 1, 2, 3 traction trebuchets and a bombard. And then just a comical number of these guys. So, well, where is everyone? Where are they going? Like, there still are defenders somewhere around here. Just need to find them and then murder them all. You would think that it's a bad idea, wouldn't you? Is it these guys? Are these the guys I have? No. Did I just find them? What are they? Wait, what are they? It seems like it may be. And maybe that's these guys up here. So we'll take this squad, who are all here. I'm gonna walk them this way. And then stomp them. So that's all I can think of. That right, I don't see anyone else in the area. Ismail? Do you see anyone? There's some dudes up on the walls up here. Got it. Meanwhile, We're building a whole bunch more of these guys. We got the resources. Let's go for a bunch more lancers. Bunch more. These guys. Hand cannons are in good shape. Let's grab up just like a comical number of spears. Hello? Please attack. Please attack. Weird. Okay, now everyone's gonna push into here. While in the meantime, I don't really have any infantry able to go, like, lure these guys out. I don't think my cavalry are able to climb this. Love that they're not aggroing. It is very funny. Proud of them. Proud of them. There we are. Look at them go. What is this AI doing? Hello? Huh? Do I want to know? Do I want to know what these guys were thinking? I feel like I don't want to know. Anyway, we seem to have close enough to finish that, so I guess grab this super huge army of reinforcements. I'm about to fill up on oomph. Gotta move these guys in. And then work, you know, on this. Bust down that gate. Where's the other set of dudes? There's like these 4. Wait, are these guys all my horse archers? Why are they not? Why are they not up here? Wait, hold on. This is like the whole point. These are my guys best suited to murdering these. Just by going pew pew from the low ground. I didn't even know I had more of them. Anyway, Wikipedia quoting Science and Civilization in China, Volume 5, Part 6.
Years of holding out against the Mongols,
Neutralizing the effects of the
first of the twin cities
thank you.
finally fell to Kublai Khan's
The 2
army.
people left. So, according to Wikipedia, an extraordinary method was invented of neutralizing the effects of the
All
enemy's
that now
trebuchets.
stood between
Ropes of
Kublai
rice straw,
Khan
4
and the
inches
throne
thick
of
and
China
34 feet long,
was
were
the
joined together
final
20 at a
stronghold
time,
of the Song,
draped onto the building
the
from top to
city
bottom and
of
covered in clay.
Shanyang.
Yeah,
Using
Grand
the
Chicken Lord,
immense
that
range of
sounds
the
like...
great trebuchet, Ismail aimed to lay waste to Shanyang's great keep.
That does sound an awful lot like just a comically large, Where's the other Hui Hui Pao? Hang on, I had 2 of them. Where's the other one? Oh. Oh, so the Bombard got wrecked. Rest in peace, Bombard. That's a traction trebuchet, that's not helpful. That's a regular ass trebuchet. There's the other Hui Hui Pao. Oh, come on. Oh, for God's sake. Ismail, please give me vision. Okay. Where's my other Hui Hui Pow? Did my other one just also eat it? Traction Trebuchet? Traction Trebuchet, Traction Trebuchet. Mangonel. Ordinary ass siege weapon. Did both of my giant... No. There. This thing. Absolute jerk. Gonna make me build a second one. To deal with the fact that these guys are bad. And then he's gonna attack there, and then two of them are gonna blow this up, and then I'll make the bridge. But yeah, Grand Chicken Lord, that basically does sound... That does sound like it's a kind of basically net that's like a bonus palace. Think of like a bonus fortification. For God's sake. These guys seriously all too big. Okay, pow. Attack. Here. How's the building on this one doing? That's doing okay. Second one. Gonna attack there. Well, the first one attacks there. Well, the first one attacks there. Well, the first one attacks there. Well, the second one attacks there. Ismail. No, that's a traction trebuchet. Ismail, give me more range. What are these guys doing? There we go. Finally. Goodbye.
Ismail's counterweight trebuchet proved its might, shaking the earth and shattering the spirits of the song. The great keep of Shangyang had fallen. With Shangyang's gate undefended, the Mongols could now repair the connecting bridge to the Song stronghold. With the city in disarray, the Mongols were free to tear down the Imperial Palace.
Okay, but like, please attack this. Please attack this. Target. There we go. Now we're good. Traction trebuchets are just like gonna collectively move in. Start attacking that. Well, meanwhile, stage 1. All these guys are gonna run forward. Stage 2. All these guys.
Warriors flooded the streets of Shangyang as the Song defenders rose to make a desperate last stand.
Okay, traction trebuchets. Traction trebuchets, get out of there. Gotta love my siege weapons. Definitely was worthwhile. Great investment. No problems here. Traction trebuchets, get out of the way! This would be where I would kill for a nest of bees. Traction trebuchets, get out of the way. Yeah, that's a lot. Huh. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a lot of forces. Not gonna lie, that's a lot of forces. They're all low health because I am doing a lot of damage, but I'm taking a lot of damage too. Okay, suppose it's time we bring in the reinforcements. Well, no, I need to have them walk this way first. Hey, look at that. We made it. Okay, you two. Imperial Palace. Everyone in here. Regroup. These two are all... And the one mangonel in there. Ugh. Just walk up this way. Where's my one mangonel? Oh, these need to run away. These need to run away. There we go. Bit slow, but we got there. They may be a bit dumb. But we've made it. Let's try that again. With feeling, and vigor, and vim. Come on. Just die. There's one thing left on it. There we go. Now, where's Ismail? Way up here. Well, that was exciting. That was not my best work. I will not lie. Not exactly my greatest accomplishment. But we got there. Turns out gunpowder units are good. Who could have guessed? And turns out also stupidly long-range trebuchets are good. And the Imperial Palace at Xiangyang is destroyed. Ish. Voila. We did. That was,
Shanyang, the great bastion of the Song
that was kind of scuffed. Not gonna lie. Not my best
Kublai
performance.
Khan had finished what his grandfather, Genghis
But
Khan,
I
had
agree,
started.
AC.
And now,
It is really sad
his own
that the
great
Imperial
dynasty
Palace compound
and sit on the
is a
throne
handful of
all
tents
China.
and a palisade for an enormous palatial complex. Let's take a look. Let's actually take a look at what Xiangyang's palatial complex actually looked like now that we have finished this up. Wasn't done well, but we did get it done. So let's take a look in celebration at what we actually just destroyed. So, here's the Tang Dynasty city at Xiangyang, which is going to be similar to what the Song Dynasty one looks like. I agree, Diamond Boots. If it works, it works, even if it did not work particularly well. right? This looks like it's still a Xiangyang, yeah. This is what we're actually looking at here. A freaking enormous palatial complex. I think that one really does show it off the best. You can see the exterior of the walls all around here. And you can see, obviously, for the most part, we've got modern construction all around here, but it looks like there's still some older stuff around here. So, really did sack something spectacular and not a sad-looking palisade. Man, it is, you're right. I didn't even process just how underwhelming it is, but you're right. It is quite sad-looking. In just 2 centuries of conquest and adaptation, the Mongol way of life evolved dramatically. Traditionally a nomadic population, they adopted permanent structures and even capital cities. The old Mongolian capital at Karakorum grew from a collection of gers into a walled city with its own palace, its courtyard built around a gleaming silver fountain that dispensed mare's milk and wine. Genghis Khan's descendants captured the Rus lands and chose... Oh, we are still on the Google image. Scuffed stream, NA streamer, all that jazz. Let's try this again. With feeling. In just 2 centuries of conquest and adaptation, the Mongol way of life evolved dramatically. Traditionally a nomadic people, they adopted permanent structures and even capital cities. The old Mongolian capital at Karakorum grew from a collection of gers into a walled city with its own palace, its courtyard built around a gleaming silver fountain that dispensed mare's milk and wine. Genghis Khan's descendants captured the Rus lands and chose Sarai as the capital of the Golden Horde, and the great city of Zhongdu became Khanbaliq, the city of the Khan, the seat of Kublai Khan's own Yuan dynasty. Despite embracing the grandeur of cities and the comfort of indoor living, the Mongols' nomadic heritage would always be close at hand. Within the city walls, a ring of traditional gers could be found, standing as a link to the roots of their legacy. I mean, it overstates what nomadic actually means, but fine. But fine. Xiangyang.
The Mongol army smashed through Xiangyang's defenses and captured the city. Kublai Khan then pursued the
I
remnants of the Song
love
dynasty
that.
across
AC.
southern China.
Tartarapura. Clearly evidence of the Great Tartarian Empire,
In
and not
1279,
just the Yuan
at
dynasty.
The Battle of Yamen, the Mongols destroyed the last defenders of the Song. Kublai Khan now ruled over all China, founding the Yuan dynasty.
I mean, I would think you count the forming of the Yuan from before, from the fall of the Jin, not the fall of the Southern Song, but that's all right.
His royal court in Chengdu welcomed scholars, traders, and religious leaders.
Uh-huh.
The Mongols demonstrated civility and religious tolerance, but also brutality and violence, typifying the contradictions within the Mongol Empire.
KJ,
Since
you're right.
Genghis Khan first united the Mongolian tribes, they had made incredible advances in technology and trade. And they created indelible connections between East and West. At its height, almost 100 million people lived under Mongol rule, a quarter of the world's population. The Mongol Empire endured for less than 200 years, before fragmenting into smaller territories, but its legend continues to this day. Genghis Khan's mission was to unite the world into one empire. Yet he always returned to the Mongolian steppe, where the endless grasslands lay beneath the eternal sky. And from where he created one of the largest empires the world has ever known.
So, they appear to be slightly overstating their case a bit. Not so much that it's irredeemable, but it is somewhat overstating the case, right? As you are all rightly pointing out, there is a very odd formulation of the Mongols as being different for being simultaneously places of tolerance, of culture, of research, and of diversity, and also one of horrific brutality. That is pretty much the core contradiction of, one might say human existence if we're philosophers, but we'll at least say every conquesting culture has dealt with that tension. So you're not saying that they overstate that. They also overstate the indelible connections between East and West, because that somehow implies that the two were ever, like, not connected. And that's just not how that works. That's like going back at least to the late Neolithic. We have proof of trade over thousands of miles. And honestly, probably a lot older. I just lose track of all evidence after, we get farther back than about 1200 BC, and I lose track of all sense of time and where the boundaries are. So, yeah, shockingly, Mongol Empire, a lot of land, a lot of people. Turns out there's a lot of contradictions when there are a lot of people. Who could have possibly guessed such a thing? Who could have possibly guessed? Simultaneously pastoralist herders? And they rapidly, as far as it goes, they do rapidly, urbanize in that they happily adopt existing bureaucracies that work and incorporate them into Mongol traditions and structures quite effectively. Also, Mongol military structures end up being really good for governorships of territory. Also, not exactly the most shocking thing in the world. So, I don't know. As per usual with a documentary, they need to make everything the most unique and significant ever. Which is not to say that the things that they are describing are not unique and fascinating and important, but rather that they are making the basic things seem unique, and therefore not engaging with all the fun parts that actually are unique.